Hello students, welcome to my video number 85, and as you can see I'm going to begin the last lesson of our main course book, The Chocolate Cream Soldier, and this lesson is from unit 7, lesson C. So as we can see, the lesson is a play and there are only 2 characters, but before that we need to know what the lesson is all about. The lesson is about a soldier's life and also the thought process of the companions, the co-soldiers that go for war. What are their thoughts for the opponents, for the enemy soldiers? So we get to see all these in this lesson. So let's begin. The characters, as we can see, are Raina and a man. Raina is a young noble woman, and man, the man means the other character, is an enemy soldier. Now let's see the background of the play. It is the year in 1885. Serbia and Bulgaria are at war. Raina, a young Bulgarian noblewoman, is told that the man to whom she is betrothed, Sergius, has led a brave and successful cavalry charge in a recent battle. As she rejoices, she is also given the news that Serbian soldiers are escaping through their city. Running from his pursuers, an enemy soldier climbs into Raina's room. Though alarmed at first, she shows pity for him by allowing him to hide in her room. Raina gets talking with him and finds out that he carries chocolates instead of ammunition in battle. So this is the background, that is the time period is 1885 and the 2 countries, Serbia and Bulgaria, are at war. The soldiers of Serbia were escaping through their city of where the character Raina lived, and this character is engaged. Betrothed means she is engaged. She is going to marry a soldier of the army, of their Bulgarian army, and the soldier's name is Sergius. And this news is there in the news is there that the Serbian soldiers were escaping through their city, and one of the soldier, he happened to enter the house of Raina, and she allows him to hide in her room. And while they are conversing, we get to see the kind of things they are talking about and many more things. So let us start the lesson here. Now the dialogues of each characters as are given in play are given here. I'm going to read them out first. Man hungrily, I wish I had some chocolates now. Raina stares at him, unable to utter her feelings. Then she sails away to a chest of drawers and returns with a box of confectionery in her hand. So we see here that Raina is little hesitant, but she has allowed the stranger, who is a soldier of Serbian army, to hide in her house, in her room. But of course she must be feeling frightened and scared from this enemy soldier. Even then she allowed him, and the first conversation began between them when man hungrily, she is very hungry and he is asking for some chocolates from Raina. Now Raina stares at him, unable to utter her feelings, like she could not make out that in such situation, such critical and such troublesome situation, he, the man, the soldier, was wanting to have some chocolates. So she was little surprised at what he was asking for. Then she sails away to a chest of drawers. Sails away means she walks to a table where there are drawers and returns with a box of confectionery in her hand. Allow me, I'm sorry I've eaten them all except these, she offers him the box. Ravenously means hungrily, he says, oh, you are an angel. He gobbles the chocolates. Creams delicious. He looks anxiously to see whether there are any more. There are none. He accepts the inevitable with pathetic good humor and says with grateful emotion, So what we see here that he hungrily grabs the chocolates and starts eating them. When they are over, then he looks for more in the box, but there were none left. He accepts the inevitable. Inevitable means something which is unavoidable, means something impossible to avoid. The way he was looking at the box to find more chocolate must be noticed by Raina. So he just tries to hide that thing by covering it up with good humor. And what is he saying? Bless you, dear lady. You can always tell an old soldier by the inside of his holsters and cartridge boxes. The young ones carry pistols and cartridges, the old ones grab. So he just tries to cover up the way he was looking for chocolates by adding some joke there. And what is he saying? He's saying that there are two types of soldiers, and the type is described by the things that they keep in their holsters. Holsters are the leather bags in which different items, different articles that are used in war are kept, like cartridges and powders and other things. The young ones, so he says that the young ones carry pistols and cartridges in their leather bag, and the old ones grab. Grab means food. So this is how he tries to cover up the embarrassing situation that he created for himself. Raina stiffly, our soldiers are not like that. She says that no, soldiers may be there of these two types, but our soldiers are not like that. She is quite proud of the soldiers of her country. Mac, oh yes, they are. There are only two sorts of soldiers, old ones and young ones. I have served 14 years. Half of our fellows never smelt powder before. Why? How is it that you have just beaten us? Sheer ignorance of the art of war, nothing else. Indignantly, I never saw anything so unprofessional. So he just continues talking about soldiers, and he says, oh yes, your soldiers are like that. There are two sorts of soldiers. And this man is having an experience of 14 years in battlefield. That is, as a soldier fighting in battles, he is having 14 years of experience. And in those 14 years, he saw that the fellows, that is the other soldiers, some of them never smelt powder before. Why? How is that you have just beaten us? That is, she says that the Bulgarian soldiers beaten the Siberian, and it was just sheer ignorance of the art of war, nothing else. He says that how could you just are unaware of these details? This is just ignorance of the art of war, nothing else. That he is hinting at Raina that this was just ignorance on her part, nothing else. Indignantly means he is getting a little angry and annoying. So the soldier is getting little angry and getting little enthusiastic talking about this topic. He is adding to it that the kind of attitude or approach the soldiers had, that is the Bulgarian soldiers had, that was very unprofessional. They were not at all professional in their approach. Now this was not liked by Raina. So it is not liked by Raina. She says, oh, was it unprofessional to beat you? Well, come, is it professional to throw a regiment of cavalry on a battery of machine guns with the dead certainty that if the guns go off, not a horse or man will ever get within 50 yards of the fire? I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it. So he's talking about the kind of charge. It's looking like the charge of the Light Brigade that we have learnt about a poem in this book only. We learnt about the poem, the charge that was made by the soldiers, the cavalry soldiers on the opponents, on the enemies who were well equipped with cannons and guns. So this looks like the same kind of charge that was made by the Bulgarian soldiers who were on cavalry. The cavalry means the soldiers who fight in battlefield riding on horses' back. So this regiment of cavalry was like, as he is giving this information to Raina, the Siberian soldier is saying this, that this cavalry was asked to go and fight with the opponents who were well equipped with guns. So it was like throwing themselves on death, with the dead certainty that if the guns go off, not a horse or man will ever get within 50 yards of the fire. So he's making fun of the charge that was made by the Bulgarian army on cavalry, like the regiment of cavalry went on to fight the opponents, the enemies of Siberian army, who were well equipped with guns and cannons. So he's making fun that it was not at all professional to do such thing. Raina says eagerly, "Did you see the great cavalry charge? Oh, tell me about it. Describe it to me." Now she is getting eager. She is getting interested to know more about that cavalry charge, because there is some reason why she is taking interest. We'll get to know that. "You never saw a cavalry charge, did you?" "How could I?" Like, of course, she was a normal citizen, not a soldier, so how could she see the cavalry charge? Perhaps not, of course. Well, it's a funny sight. It's like slinging a handful of peas against a window pane. First one comes, then 2 or 3 close behind him, and then all the rest in a lump. So he just imagines the whole situation that was there on the battlefield when the cavalry charge was made. And he says that he's comparing here. It's like slinging a handful of peas. Slinging means like throwing a handful of peas against the window pane, and then one by one they come close behind him, and then all the rest in a lump. That is, few of the soldiers move ahead, and then the rest of them behind the leader. Raina, her eyes widening as she raises her clasped hands ecstatically. Yes, first one, the bravest of the brave. Now she is getting into it, very much excited to know what happened in that cavalry charge. And she is feeling ecstatically, like very much extremely happy or extremely excited to know about it. She is hinting it for someone for us to make note of. Yes, first one, the bravest of the brave. So it feels that she is connected with the first one, the bravest of the brave here, and she is wanting to know about this particular soldier. Man, prosaically means in a very dull and less interested way. You should see the poor devil pulling at his horse. So he says that, yeah, you should see the poor devil pulling at his horse. Poor devil is that particular soldier about whom Raina wants to know, and he is mentioning or using such adjective for that soldier, the poor devil, pulling at his horse. Why should he pull at his horse? Now Raina is not liking that thing, that he is a brave soldier. Why will he pull at his horse? Impatient of so stupid a question. Man is quite like he's finding the question to be very stupid. He says, it's running away with him, of course. Do you suppose the fellow wants to get there before the others and be killed? So he says that he was pulling at the horse to run away from the battlefield, of course. Do you suppose the fellow wants to get there before the others and be killed? Then they all come. They know that they are mere projectiles. Projectiles means the kind of objects that are like weapons that are thrown on the battlefield. They were not taken as human beings. These soldiers were like objects that are thrown as weapons, and that's no use trying to fight. The wounds are mostly broken knees from the horses canoeing together. So he says that those soldiers also know that they were going to be killed in that battlefield because they were not carrying such arms, such ammunition with them, and there was no use trying to fight. The wounds are mostly broken knees from the horses canoeing together. The horses that were canoeing together. So here that means the wounds were just broken knees from the horses cannoning together, means that the horses, out of panic, they would just bruise with each other, and they would give to each other broken knees. And it's creating a scene of panic on the battlefield, the panic among the soldiers who were the regiment of cavalry. So we are going to stop here in this video. We'll continue in the next video. So till then, students, take care and God bless you all.